Realm of Thrones' brand new update version 6.3 has just been released for Patreon members, and just when I thought the updates couldn't get any better, they proved me wrong yet again. In this update, we got everything from new dragon animations, custom battlefields, new scripted events, and new castle scenes that just might be some of my favorites yet. Well, we're here again today to take a look at an equally, if not more impressive update from the Realm of Thrones team. And I wanted to start off by taking a look at some of the smaller additions before we get into anything too crazy. First, we finally have a new and custom game assets for every single faction, totaling up to 41 total. They don't have them for the Free Folk and Skagos, but more on them later. While this is a small addition, it's one that I think is very much needed, as it helps breathe new life into our army building early on in our playthroughs. Also, having each faction have their own custom gear, even at just tier 1, just makes army building feel more unique to each house and less repetitive all around. Next, I want to take a look at the new and custom battlefields that they have added, and there's a lot. It's also a great chance to showcase the new flying and landing dragon animations that they have also introduced. And if you thought dragons were overpowered already, you just wait. It's always really nice when they add more of these battlefields, as I think it helps break up the repetition of battle scenes. But starting us off, you'll encounter new and custom battlefields around the settlements Highgarden, Winterfell, and Riverrun, along with 4 new and custom swamp battlefields. I unfortunately haven't been able to find them just yet, so if you know where they are, please let me know down below. In our last video that we talked about Realm of Thrones, we covered one of their largest and most impressive updates yet. In the update, we got everything from a completely custom Battle of the Blackwater event, an interactable Mance Raider siege, to custom battlefields, and so much more. You'll encounter these custom battlefields just like the King's Landing battlefields that we looked at in our previous video. The first Riverrun custom battlefield is great, as they have these really open fields against the water with Riverrun looming around in the background. You can also even see a couple villages in different directions off in the distance, which is also really nice. I really love when you can see these structures actually in the battles, by making the world feel more full and alive around you. The Highgarden custom battlefields are not too different from the Riverruns, as you're still fighting in these wide open fields, but this time you're surrounded by farmland. And I love how they incorporated the farms off into the distance to represent that they are supposed to be supplying the whole realm for food. And of course, you have the Castle Highgarden in the background, which is always nice to see while you're on the battlefield. And lastly, we also got a brand new and custom field battle right outside of Winterfell. This one is relatively the same as the others, as it's still an open field battle right outside the city gates. Off to the side, you can even see one of the small villages where the arena is. The battlefield itself is nothing too special, but I will say though that at night, Winterfell is absolutely stunning. In this update, we also got a brand new and custom arenas for some of our favorite locations: Highgarden, Storm's End, and my favorite, King's Landing. Highgarden's arena will have you fighting below the cliffs looking up to the castle, whereas the Storm's End arena I thought was really cool, as it does make use of all the space it has, using its entryway and front gates as the arena itself. And I just love the tall tower looming over everyone in the background. And lastly, for my favorite, King's Landing. King's Landing actually has 2 different arenas, which I thought was really interesting. The first one is where Robert had his jousting tournament, and where we got this famous scene.
Stop this madness in the name of your... Let him go!
And the last arena is my personal favorite, where we can try and recreate one of the most gruesome scenes from the entire series. And the last new arena that was added might be the most unique of them all. Riverrun's new arena is one of the coolest in my opinion that I've seen so far. You'll find yourself fighting on these wooden pallets floating in the moat. Another reason why this might be the most unique city in all of Westeros. Next, I want to take a look at the new custom sieges for Highgarden, Riverrun, and King's Landing. The Highgarden siege is not the deadliest siege that you'll encounter, but it is very cool nonetheless. Props to the moderators for adding what they could, as we never actually got to see the siege actually happen in the show, so it's impressive that they were even able to pull this off. You're immediately spawned at the bottom of the hill, so you and your army will be fighting a literal uphill battle. You and your army can take positions in these fortified wooded areas for cover, as it is fairly difficult to get a great angle with a bow as an attacker in this siege. But inside the castle, you have the defending archers spread all around the walls and towers, and even at the top of this tall staircase, acting as somewhat of a second line of defense. I was really hoping when I heard about new and custom sieges that they might turn to how Shakuho approached sieges. Rather than just having a single line of defense behind one gate, have multiple fronts of troops and gates for you to progress through. This will give you, the player, much more to think about strategically while attempting to siege a settlement, while also giving you a sense that you're gaining more control of the castle the further along you progress. Speaking of multiple fronts, one castle that would benefit a ton by having a second wave of troops and archers is River Run. The new River Run siege is a close second in terms of some of my favorite sieges, as I just absolutely love what they did with the city layout and how you approach it. Your troops have to either cross these makeshift ramps or up to the main bridge. When sieging this castle, you will certainly have a lot of casualties, as the small tower sticking out of the walls and the large gatehouse gives the defenders perfect positions against your troops. As soon as I spawned in, I immediately noticed that off in the distance you can even see the siege camp and old destroyed siege equipment. I love this little addition and attention to detail, as it really makes the world feel alive around you. Another thing I instantly noticed is that the defenders weren't making use of their second inner walls and gates, and I think they should, as River Run is supposed to be almost impenetrable. And if they did, it definitely would make this one of the hardest cities to siege. And finally, for the last new siege that was added is the Red Keep siege. Like I said earlier, this castle is completely separate from the settlement King's Landing, which means even in the interactable Battle of the Blackwater event, you will have to siege the Red Keep after King's Landing. But I will say that this is hands down one of the coolest sieges I have seen yet from this mod team. Immediately spawning in, I noticed a large amount of defending archers with perfect sight of your troops approaching, while your battling ram rolled right down the middle of the street towards the gate. All of your archers are spread throughout the city, and even on top of the rooftops, which I thought was a really cool touch. And speaking of inner walls and multiple fronts, it seems that the defenders of the Red Keep do make use of that inner wall and gate, which makes the siege even harder to get through. They went as far as to add the siege camps in the background, along with the siege engines and equipment spread throughout the city. All three of these sieges are amazing, and props to the mod team for all of their hard work. Moving along, we forgot to stop and check out the new River Run Tavern that was added. I absolutely love custom taverns, as while you might not physically walk around them very much, it is something that can help settlements become more unique. While the tavern is small, it is filled with people and life. The kitchen, seating area, and all of the assets inside look great, and I'm sure looking forward to more custom taverns in the future. And for the moment you have all been waiting for, we finally have some of the most requested events and scripted events being introduced. Starting us off, we have the event Bastard to Lord, where Ramsay Bolton kills his father in order to take his place as Lord on day 300. Next up, we have the one event everyone has been looking forward to, and that is the event King in the North, where Jon Snow obviously becomes King in the North on day 325. We now officially have an interactable Battle of the Bastards siege event on day 350. Now you can support Jon Snow on his conquest to take back control over the North by taking back Winterfell. And I suppose if you are a psycho and you really wanted to, you can help Ramsay Bolton defend Winterfell from Jon. Now after the events, I just wanted to take a quick look at some of the additional content that was added, along with some of the changes and fixes. In this update, you'll actually find a ton of new castles on the map, along with their appropriate houses. And speaking of castles, the castles Hornvale, Sharppoint, and Yonwood have all been turned into settlements. We also got a brand new and custom Ramsay armor set that just looks absolutely incredible. These armor sets that they keep releasing just keep looking better and better, and I think this one makes it into my top 3. But I do want to know what you all think about the new armor set. And in this update, you also found out that some lords and some well-known children will now have custom stats that better represents them. This will replace their default templates, and the stats will apply to the children once they turn 18. And if you thought that was all, then man, you couldn't be even more wrong. At the time of recording this, the Realm of Thrones team has actually put together an additional update, version 6.3.1. This is a fairly small update compared to what we had just covered, but since it's here now, I thought we should go over it. In version 6.3.1, you will find some really nice new armor sets. First, we have this new wildling equipment set that looks great and closer resembles more of what we saw them wear in the show. Next, we got these new Stark Lord sallets, bracers, and cloaks that look incredible. Every update, I feel as if they add a new piece of armor set for the Starks, but I am not mad at it as they just keep looking better and better. And lastly, we have some new Stark Lord armor. Again, it looks great and very accurate to what we got to see in the show. The next addition in this update is a very much needed one in my opinion. That is a brand new and custom Scepter Baylor. The new one looks better than I could have ever imagined, as the old one didn't look very lore accurate or to what we even saw in the show. I'm very happy with how it turned out, as it now stands out from the rest of the buildings like it should. And lastly, we have the most unexpected addition of this update in my opinion, and that is a Night King duel. Now in your playthrough, if you approach the Night King on the map, you'll be taken into a fight where you can then duel the Night King. I love this addition, as we all know we should have had an epic duel in the show, but instead we got this. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon member to gain access to the new update, you can do so through the link in the description or through their Discord, which is also linked down below. Or if you're just wanting to wait for it to be released to the public, you can probably expect this update to be released in the next couple of months. If you're interested in the new update and would like a chance to win, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and comment ROT when you are done. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy this one right here, where we take a look at how Banner Kings transforms and improves Bannerlord more than you can imagine. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.